Yo, today is Monday, April 6th. Hope everyone had a good weekend. We did a whole lot of nothing. Watched a whole lot of Ozarks, trying to finish the third season. Also watched a whole lot of Arrested Development, which I had only seen the first season a long time ago, so we're just working through every episode right now. And just got onto the second season. That show is hilarious. Both are on Netflix. So yeah, whole lot of Jason Bateman this weekend. Both great shows. Check them out. And if you watch Ozarks, you will love this tweet that I saw this morning. Oh my God, this tweet is unreal. It is, here it is. Okay, here's the tweet. Convince me this isn't Ruth from Ozark, and it's young Justin Timberlake in the NSYNC days, and it's amazing. So yeah, that made my morning. Yeah, that was good. Also, Saturday I went for a short hike. I just found out yesterday that the stay-at-home orders, at least for Colorado, permit outdoor recreation. Can't say that I agree with that. It just doesn't seem smart to say, hey, stay at home unless it's for essential reasons, unless you want to just go hang out outside and do outdoor recreation, then go for it. I don't agree with it. I think we should all be staying inside, at home, staying safe. For me, it's not so much about protecting myself. It's more about protecting others, because for all I know, I could have it right now. And you could too. And you could be totally asymptomatic, not showing any symptoms at all. And then you could just be out spreading it. So it just kind of seems selfish to put yourself out in public, where you could potentially be infecting someone else. So with that being said, I did go for a hike. I wanted to get some cardio in. I was going to go run right around the lake here across the street from me, but it's been very crowded there. And I decided to go to a local mountain, small mountain, maybe 600-700 feet of vertical gain. And I knew there were at least a lot of trails branching from that trailhead. So I got there in the parking lot. I got there at like 3 or 4 p.m. I tried to go later in the day. Parking lot was pretty full. And yeah, there were a good amount of people there, but everyone was spread out. There weren't any big groups of people hiking. Most people had masks on. I had my buffer on my neck, and anytime I had to go past someone, I'd put it up over my nose and face the other way while they passed or while I passed them. But man, those trails they're not wide. It is hard to distance when you're passing people or being passed. And you want to get off the trail and give them enough space, but then you're like, stepping on the vegetation, and that creates problems. And plus, like, I was trying to trail run for the first time, and I got up the first hill and I was gassed. I'm like open mouth, heavy breathing, just like panting, about to have a heart attack. It felt like, and just in that, you could see how, anything could be coming out of your mouth or nose and into the air while you're out there, like working hard and breathing very heavily. So that's, I didn't feel good about going out there. I did it because I technically wasn't breaking any rules, and I wanted to get some cardio in and kind of see how things were out there. I will say it felt really good once I was out there and at the top of that first hill. But of course it felt good. We've been inside for the past 3 weeks. It just felt. I didn't feel good about going out. It felt selfish, and I gotta say, I don't think I'm gonna be doing that again. I think if I go out and take advantage of outdoor recreation, it'll be just to drive somewhere fairly close where I can get there and back on one tank of gas, and just camp and just car camp for the night. I might even do that later this week. I actually have a for my Xterra, where I'm working on like modding it out and whatever. I actually bought a 2-inch thick foam mattress topper, and then like a $13 electric carving knife. So I'm gonna cut that to shape of the back of my Xterra, and then we'll have 2 inches of foam all the way across the back. It'll be super comfy to sleep in and just to hang out in for extended periods of time, if I ever am doing that, if the weather's bad. So yeah, that should be showing up today, and I plan on cutting it tonight or tomorrow, and then I'll be ready to go. So yeah, I think I might start trying to do that, even like during the week. I've been scouting out some new car camping spots in like national forest land where it's like free dispersed camping or boondocking or whatever you want to call it. So I've been scouting out some new spots, so I might try and go drive. They're only about an hour, maybe an hour and a half tops from my house. So yeah, I might, right after work, click upload on the video, and then head out to the mountains, camp for the night, and then come back, make it back home by like 7:30 in the morning. Plenty of time before work. So yeah, I think I'm gonna start doing that. So what else? Now's a good time to remind you that on my website, outdoordetour.com, I have a whole collection of dates for hard to get permits. And so yeah, if you go to outdoordetour.com, look for the link that says permit calendar, click on that, and then if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see I have it broken down into months, so you can go right down to April. And what is coming up next, in just 4 days, on April 10th, if you applied for permits to hike Half Dome, the cables on Half Dome, those lottery results get published in just 4 days. So what is that, Friday? Yeah, on Friday. So I applied for those. My dad, my uncle, and some people applied for those to actually come out and meet me while I'm out there. As I mentioned in previous videos, we got our permit to hike the John Muir Trail, or the JMT, northbound, starting in Mount Whitney and finishing in Yosemite Valley. That permit, however, you don't get any permission to hike Half Dome with just that permit. You have to still apply for Half Dome permits. And there's 2 ways to be able to hike Half Dome. One is through this lottery, where the results get published on Friday. The other is to apply for a backcountry wilderness permit, basically a backpacking permit in Yosemite. And on your permit, you can say, yes, I want to hike Half Dome. And then there's another checkbox that says, yes, process my permit even if I don't get a Half Dome permit, or no, only process this permit if it also includes Half Dome. So I actually applied for a couple backpacking permits in Yosemite, basically for right when we are planning on finishing the John Muir Trail. And on those, I put that I wanted to hike Half Dome. And this weekend, we actually got awarded one of those permits. So that's awesome. So basically, we're going to plan on finishing the John Muir Trail by September 15th. And that's the day that we have to go pick up our permit for Half Dome. So that's the only downside, is that we have to get off of the trail and back into the valley just to pick up the permit locally in Yosemite. As opposed, like, we can't just hike Half Dome on our way to the trailhead, like while we're on the John Muir Trail. So that's a little bit of a bummer, but what that allows us to do is basically we could finish the John Muir Trail and be in the valley. They have a backpackers campground in the valley, and if you have a backpacking permit, you can stay at that campground a day before your trip and a day after your trip. So since we will finish the John Muir Trail, we'll be able to stay at that campground that night. And by the way, it's $6 per person at that backpackers campground. You just have to bring exact change. So if you have a 20, just stop at the market in the valley, get yourself some beer, and ask for change back. So yeah, we're going to stay there that night that we finish. We're going to pick up our permit and then stay at the backpackers campground. The next day, we could backpack and do Half Dome, but we're probably just going to day hike the entire thing, which is like 18 or 19 miles round trip. So we'll go and day hike that. You know, our legs are going to be in perfectly good hiking shape by then, because we will have already spent 2.5 weeks hiking. So yeah, our plan is to day hike that, and then the permit that we got approved for is to do this alternate route that I mapped out on All Trails, and I have coined it the El Capitan High Route. So yeah, look at the map here. That route. So basically it goes like on top of, you basically hike up starting at Yosemite Falls. You hike up on top of Yosemite Falls, and then we're going to go all the way back west to be on top of El Cap. And then on the way back, we can hit Eagle Peak. And then we'll probably continue past Yosemite Falls and go to North Dome and probably camp around there. And then continue east, hit a couple other spots, and then hike back down into the valley. And you'll see on the left, that's like a 37.5 mile route. So yeah, that's kind of the plan right now. Getting these other permits over the weekend really kind of solidified what our plan is going to be. So finish a JMT on the 15th, pick up our permit, camp in the valley. On the 16th, we will day hike Half Dome, and then stay in the valley at the backpackers campground again, because that'll be a day before our trip to do this blue route. And then on the 17th, we will start backpacking this blue route, and we'll spend 3 days, 2 nights doing this blue route. And that puts us back in the valley on Saturday, which I believe is the 19th. Yeah, that's the 19th. And then we'll have all day to spend driving around the valley, taking photos, maybe go south and go see some big trees in the either in the sequoias or just Yosemite's big sequoia grove of trees. I can't think of the name of it. But here, I'll just throw a picture up and that'll have the name on it, I'm sure. That's actually an amazing place, amazing sequoia grove that they have in the southern part of Yosemite. And it was closed for like 3 years, and then we finally got to go to it, I think 2 years ago that was, which was the last time that we hiked Half Dome too. So yeah, we'll have all Saturday to do any other kind of sightseeing like that, and then get back to San Fran and fly home on Sunday. And that'll be basically 3 weeks, 3 weeks off to do all of that. So yeah, having all the permits it makes it all very real that this looks like it will happen, barring any kind of future coronavirus stuff. Or honestly, at this point, I'm most worried about wildfires. They're like pretty far under their average snowfall for early April right now in the Sierra Nevada range. So yeah, it's looking, they're trending with their 2018 average, which is not good. It's very dry, and I'm hoping they just get pounded with snow over the next like 4 weeks, because they need it bad. Otherwise, they're going to burn like they did in 2018 and all these other years they've been on fire. So yeah, honestly, I'm more worried about that than anything else as far as like having it affect our hiking plans for late August, early September. So, but yeah, I'm excited. My flights are booked. Flying into Vegas. I don't know if I told you this already, but flying into Vegas, probably paying for Carrie to fly out, rent a car, drop us off there, and then flying back out of San Fran. So that's kind of the plan right now, and logistically how we're planning on doing it. So yeah, that's super exciting. I don't know that I have anything else for you today. Trying to keep it short. I think the rest of the week, as far as videos go, I'm thinking about doing some how-to videos. A couple things like maybe how to make your own fire starter. Like these fire starters that I made a while ago, these are basically cotton balls that were, I think I lathered them in petroleum jelly, I think. Is that what it was? And then basically dipped them in wax. And these actually, I tested them on my porch, and they kept an open flame for like 20 minutes. It was like 21 minutes or something. So I might do one where I show you how to make some of these if you just buy some soy wax and some cotton balls. Another one that I might do is, I have this sleeping pad here. I haven't used in a while because it's got a small hole in it somewhere. So I was thinking of showing how to find a hole in a sleeping pad, and then how to patch it using the, most have like an internal pocket, and then inside here is a patch kit. So there's some adhesive stuff and the actual extra fabric to patch it with. So I was thinking maybe I could do one where I show you how to do that. Not so much how to do it, it's more, it'll be more like, watch me try this for the first time and learn from all the mistakes that I am sure to make. So, because obviously there's a million videos, I'm sure, on how to do that on YouTube already. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking about doing. I'm trying to think of more stuff to do. I don't know. By the end of this week, maybe I might be out of content altogether. I don't know. So if you've made it to this far in the video, congratulations. I know it wasn't easy. Thanks for sticking with me. And yeah, we will just see you tomorrow. See ya.